What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of BreBre Talks MMA. So this past Saturday we had the UFC Fight Night, UFC in Austin, and it was Beneil Dariush versus Arman Tsarukyan for the main event. It was a great main event. I was really excited for this fight, really curious to how this fight was going to play out. And the whole card, honestly, especially for a fight night, was pretty stacked. Like, this was one of the best fight night cards I've seen, honestly, in a long time. So I'm really excited to get into it and talk about all the action. We also had Mike Perry versus Eddie Alvarez in BKFC, which was really exciting. I actually fell asleep before the last few fights, so I had to go back and rewatch it afterwards. Yeah, I was tired after watching the whole UFC card, I guess. I literally fell asleep with the fights on, which I have done several times now. And I feel like the last few months I've done it more than ever. Because usually I can just stay up. But I don't know, I've been so busy and like working, training, doing the podcast, doing everything. So I was a little sleepy. And I'm a little sleepy today because I don't have any caffeine. The coffee maker, it's on its last leg. Or, I don't know, something's wrong with it. So there's no coffee today. And I drank all my Alani Nu, so I got nothing. But that's okay. I will survive. I've got my UFC sweatshirt on. This was the only thing I bought from the Black Friday sales. Pretty sweet. The old school logo. Pretty freaking sweet. So I'm really excited about that. But my back hurts really bad, so I'm going to be leaning back a little bit for this episode. But yeah, I'm really excited. So these fights were awesome. Honestly, I thought all the performances were pretty great. I didn't have any complaints about any of these fights. Honestly, except for one of the stoppages. Was a little rough. But other than that, everything else was good. I'm excited for this coming Saturday is Nemesis Fighting Alliance. It is going to be held in St. Louis, Missouri at Ballpark Village. We've got a few fighters from ES MMA and Fitness fighting on that card. Logan Jones, Jesse Martinelli, and Kendall Whited. So, yeah, it's going to be really fun. There's also a few other fighters that I'm familiar with on that card. Ryan Ashley, he trains at St. Charles MMA. He's going to be on that card. He's really good. And then I'm trying to think. I feel like there's somebody else on this card that I'm forgetting about. But either way, it's going to be a great card. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch UFC. I think it's just an Apex card, so if there's any card this month that I'm going to miss, that's probably the best one to miss. Song versus Gutierrez, which is honestly going to be, what a great fight that's going to be. Holy crap. Yeah, that's going to be a banger. But I don't think I'm going to be able to watch it. Oh, Anthony Smith versus Khalil Roundtree is the co-main event. Nasrat's on this card. This is actually a pretty good card. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to. Let's see what time it's at. Oh, it's just a normal time. The main card starts at 9. I wonder if they'll have the fights on at Ballpark. Oh my gosh, my throat. Well, it'll probably be going on at the exact same time as the fights I'm going to see. So I probably won't watch it. Oh well. I can watch it after the fact. So, but I'm not going to miss the pay-per-view. That's the most important thing. The pay-per-view, UFC 296. Oh my gosh, this card looks so good. It's going to be crazy. There's just so many good fights. Even the early prelims. There's ranked fighters on the early prelims on this fight. Alonzo Menifield versus Dustin Jacoby. Like, you just don't really see that often. Like, this is such a great card. Except, I wonder what's going to happen to the Josh Emmett fight. So, Giga Chikadze is out of his fight with Josh Emmett. He, I guess, tore his hip. I don't know exactly what... I saw a video of it. I don't know exactly what the injury entails. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, John Jones has been tweeting. We'll see what he has to say. So John Jones tweeted, "I've faced the absolute," this was yesterday, "I faced the absolute toughest competition this world had to offer for 15 years now. During camp for a title defense, I sustained a major injury that required surgery for the first time in my career. Now I have newcomers requesting I get my championship stripped. 0 wins over legends, 0 title defenses, and already thinking you can call the shots to Dana. That's hilarious. In my 15-year career, I have seen so many guys who are supposed to be the next big thing. That's ever only been one John Jones. Never forget that." And then Tom Aspinall said, "You're right. Sorry, John." I mean, I don't know. The thing is, he's only had one fight in that division. So I guess that's kind of, for me, why I wouldn't be mad if he got stripped. I'm not, like, begging for it, but it's like, I don't know. I thought the interim title fight should have just been a vacant title, because it's just, because I don't see John coming back anytime soon, maybe at all, honestly. I don't know. I feel like there's gonna have to be a really big fight to motivate him to come back. And Tom Aspinall, just to me, isn't there yet. You know, I mean, John Jones can sell a pay-per-view by himself, but I feel like for him to be motivated to come back, especially after a big injury like that, I don't know. Because think about it, that he's not only injured, but he's missing out on, like, time on training too. So he's going to be a little bit behind. So, I don't know. My shoulder hurts. Ow. But anyways, let's get to the fights, because there's all kinds of stuff going on in the MMA world that we'll get to later. But the first fight of the night was Veronica Hardy versus Jamie Lynn Horth. And Hardy ended up winning this fight via split decision. It was a great fight. Honestly, I agreed with the decision. I thought Hardy won. I thought it was pretty competitive, but I thought Hardy won. I thought she did more damage. That was my opinion on that fight. I thought she did more damage, but she looked great. I really enjoyed watching her fight. She's really fun to watch. And then, or what's her record? Because I don't know how long she's been fighting in the UFC. So Veronica Hardy she fights at flyweight, and she is 13-4 in pro MMA. She's on a 2-fight win streak now. Nice. Yeah, I'm curious to see kind of where she goes with her career. Very curious to see. Because I know she didn't have the best start in the UFC. She lost her first 3 fights in the UFC. But then she got a win, then she lost again, and now she's on a 2-fight win streak. So, yeah, that will be interesting. Obviously, she is Dan Hardy's wife, so, yeah. And then what we got next? We had, this was a great fight. Wellington Turman versus Jared Gooden. Yeah, this was a great fight. And Gooden ended up winning via rear naked choke in the second round. And I thought that Turman actually did really well in the first round, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go. But then Gooden hurt him really bad in the second round. I think that was kind of what led to the finish, was just like, you got hurt. And it's harder to defend yourself, and it's harder to, I guess, like, stay sharp whenever, you know, you're hurt. So even though he didn't get TKO'd or knocked out, you know, Gooden was able to get that submission because he hurt him first, in my opinion. But it was a great performance. It was a great fight. And then Rodolfo Bellato versus Igor. What's the name? I feel like I have this name on here wrong. Is it Igor? No, it is Igor. Okay, so I wrote it down correctly. I was like, did I have a typo in here? No, I didn't. I did it right. So Bellato ended up winning via round 2 TKO. Honestly, he ate so many shots in that second round. It was kind of crazy. I think his chin is made of iron or something, because that was honestly one of the best comebacks I've ever seen in MMA in a while. It was crazy. I thought he was going to lose the fight, honestly. I thought he was definitely going to lose. He turned it around, so that was crazy. That was probably one of my favorite fights of the night, just because of the comeback. Because he was getting whooped, and then he figured it out. I mean, sometimes just toughness can win you fights. And we saw that in Mike Perry versus Eddie Alvarez. Like, sometimes just whoever's tougher. You know, if you can weather the storm, then, you know, you might be able to get the win or finish the fight. So, and he did. So it was awesome. And then Drakkar Klose versus Joe Solecki. So this was the first slam knockout of the night. Was absolutely insane. It was in the first round. And what happened was, Drakkar Klose was trying to escape an armbar attempt. So Joe Solecki was attempting an armbar on him, and then Klose ended up slamming Solecki on the ground and knocked him out with the slam. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I haven't seen one of those in a while. It had been a while since I saw that. But it was crazy because he, like, went out right away when he got slammed. Like, you could see him, like, go unconscious. It was crazy. Crazy fight. What's, I need to look up for Drakkar Klose, because I feel like he has so much potential. I mean, obviously, he's already doing pretty well. But, I mean, he's got potential to be, like, a real contender, I think, at some point. Now, he is in literally the most stacked division in the UFC, arguably. So, I don't know. Might be tough. Might be a challenge. But if you look at his record, he has 14 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. And the only 2 losses, so one of his losses is to Beneil Dariush, and the other loss was to David Temur, and that was in 2017, so that was 6 years ago. And the loss to Dariush was in March of 2020, so almost 3 years ago. Or over 3 years ago, sorry. And he has wins over Lando Venata, Bobby Green, now Joe Solecki. And Joe Solecki going into this fight was 13-4. He had, who was that? Who did he beat before? Jim Miller. He has a win over Jim Miller, and he had that the rear naked choke Yeah, I forgot about that. Austin Hubbard. Yeah. So pretty solid opponent. I mean, he's obviously close, has a ways to go to climb the ladder in that division. How old is he? He's 35. So, okay, maybe. Maybe it might be a little late. But you never know. You really never know. Get the right fights, get the just right place, right time, then you never know what can happen. But yeah, that was impressive. That was really cool. That was crazy. And then right after that was another slam knockout. Zachary Reese versus Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage ended up getting a slam knockout of Zachary Reese. I can't talk today. 1 minute 49 seconds into the first round. So both of these. Okay, so the first slam knockout was 1 minute 41 seconds into the first round. The second slam knockout was 1 minute 49 seconds into the first round. Like, what are the odds? And they were back-to-back fights. It's crazy. Yeah, but the Cody Brundage fight, yeah, that to me, I felt like was a bigger moment just because I feel like, I don't know. I'm going to look up Cody Brundage too. I normally look these up before the podcast, but I didn't have time. Sorry. Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage is 10-5. Oh, he's from South Carolina. Nice. He fights in the middleweight division, which honestly is definitely not nearly as stacked as lightweight. Was he on Contender Series? I feel like he was. Let me see. Yes. Oh, he lost on Contender Series. So, hold on. My ear itches. Okay. Yeah, he lost that fight. That was to William Knight. It's a tough fight. Interesting. Well, yeah, I was really impressed with Cody Brundage. I was kind of honestly hoping for a less of a one-sided fight. I was hoping for more of a competitive fight because I really like Zachary Reese. And I don't even know who the favorite was in this fight, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe that was kind of an experience thing. So maybe Zachary will be able to kind of turn it around. I mean, this was his debut off a Contender Series, and he was undefeated before this, but he only had let's see, what's his record? His record's 6-1. So he only had 6 fights before this, pro MMA fights. So I don't know. I feel like he definitely still has potential. I think that was more of an experience thing. Like, I feel like that's something that he'll probably learn from and be like, okay, never do that again. But I don't know. I want to see more from him. I still think that he's just new. You know, this is only his 7th pro MMA fight. So, oh my God, he fought Kevin Holland, his first amateur fight. That's crazy. He lost by decision. That is so crazy. That was in 2012. Wow. That's crazy. Oh, he was in Fury before going to Contender Series. Yeah, Fury. So they just had a crazy fight. A heavyweight fight. I'm going to pull this up right now. I know I'm going off on tangents here, but I got to pull this up because this was absolutely insane. This heavyweight fight. It was so crazy. Robelis de Spain. I think that's how you say it. I might be saying it wrong. He's like 6'7" or something like that. Let me look it up. Cody Como was telling me about this guy. He's like, you gotta watch this. And I didn't watch it because I was busy, but... Oh, he's a Cuban Taekwondo athlete. What? Oh, wow. He's 4-0 in MMA, but he's got... Oh, he was in the Olympics for Taekwondo. Wow. Yeah, he's 6'7". That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. And the guy that he fought was pretty big too. At least I thought he was. I don't know. Cody told me about these people, but I don't remember what he said. Yeah, but Robelis ended up getting signed to the UFC after that fight. Obviously, Dana White's probably salivating. Because, like, a heavyweight that's that tall and that athletic, and with the Taekwondo background, like, you're not going to find that. Like, yeah, but apparently Fury UFC is creating a lot of fighters. Like, they're bringing a lot of talent to the UFC, so I'm going to have to keep an eye out for Fury. Maybe one of these days I'll go to one of their events and check it out, but... yeah, I think they're based out of Texas, I believe. So, yeah, they're based out of Texas. But anyways, Tate versus Avila. So, Miesha Tate back in there. When was her last fight before this? Miesha Tate. I feel like she hasn't fought in a while until Saturday. Yeah, her last fight was Lauren Murphy, and that was only a year and a half ago, so it hasn't been that long. It felt like it had been a long time since I'd seen her in there, but I guess not. That was her 20th win in her pro career, and she ended up winning via submission. It was pretty impressive submission, honestly. She just dominated the grappling. I felt like Avila didn't have any answers for Tate. She really didn't. Tate just dominated. Absolutely dominated that fight. So it was awesome. I really enjoyed watching that. And I'm excited to see Tate fight again. I mean, she's got such a big name that I feel like she could climb the rankings faster than like other people at this point, especially with a win like that. So, but she is, you know, she's not as young as she used to be. She's not old, but she's just, you know, for MMA, she's not a spring chicken, so I don't know. I mean, she's already been champion before, so I don't know, is she chasing belts at this point? She's probably just trying to make money, which she could probably make a lot of because she's got a name. You know, she's winning fights, so I'm happy to see it. And then moving to the main card, Soriano versus Stoltzfus. This was, yeah, a pretty one-sided fight, I would say. I thought in the beginning Soriano was looking decent. Thought his striking looked good, but Stoltzfus just kind of took over, and then he got a submission in the second round, kind of a little bit later in the second round. But yeah, he ended up getting the sub there. It was a great performance, honestly. And then Clay Guida versus Joaquim Silva. So Clay Guida, he's like 40 years old. I think I'm going to have to Google it. I don't like to get people's ages wrong, so I'm going to Google that. I think he's 40. Or 39, maybe. Let's see. Oh, he's 41. So I was trying to make him younger. 38 wins and 24 losses. Wow. That's a lot of fights. That's a lot of MMA fights, guys. That's crazy. That's what, like 50, 62. Is that 62 MMA fights? Because, let's see, let's do some math here. 38 plus 24. Yeah, that's 62 MMA fights. What? Clay Guida has had 62. No way. No freaking way. No way. I gotta look this up on another website. I gotta double fact check this. That's because that's insane. Yeah, 62 MMA fights. Clay Guida has had 62 MMA fights. And he still looks good. His chin has held up this long. That's crazy. I mean, he didn't win the fight, but when they were about to read the scorecards, I wasn't sure who was going to win. Honestly. I wasn't sure who they were going to give it to. I thought they could have given it to Clay Guida. I honestly thought they could have given that fight to Clay Guida. I mean, if I watch it a second time, I'll probably be like, oh, that's why Silva won. But man, the way that Clay Guida was eating those shots and he popped out of that guillotine, that was insane. That was insane. I thought he looked great. I thought Clay Guida looked incredible in that fight. Even though he lost, I thought he looked great. And he was relentless with his takedowns too. Like he kept on trying. Like he attempted, let's see, let's look at the stats here. Because I saw some people that actually did think that Clay Guida won the fight. But looking at the stats, yeah, I definitely can see why they scored it for Silva. Round 1, total strikes for Clay were 19, 40 for Silva. He got 0 out of the 3 takedowns he attempted. Silva didn't attempt any. So total in the fight, wow. Clay Guida attempted 11 takedowns in this fight. So that just shows you how good Silva's takedown defense is. But also, Clay Guida's submission defense is fantastic too. So, yeah, I thought Silva probably had a slight edge in the grappling, but honestly, I don't know. Clay Guida is so fun to watch. Win or lose, I love watching him fight. He's just, yeah. I feel like that's why he'll always be able to get fights. Like, he'll probably be in the UFC for a little while longer, I would think. Because he's fun to watch. Like, when you're entertaining, you're fun to watch. Even if you lose. Like, Tony Ferguson, for example. He's on a 6-fight losing streak. A lot of people get cut if they're on a 6-fight losing streak. But because Tony Ferguson is so much fun to watch, and he's so exciting, he's a draw, they'll keep giving him fights. So, yeah. You know what's crazy about Clay Guida? Earlier in his career, he has wins over Anthony Pettis, Rafael dos Anjos, Nate Diaz. That's crazy. Josh Thompson, Joe Lazon, BJ Penn, Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, that was recent though. Yeah, that was a couple years ago. That was crazy. Absolutely insane. Love Clay Guida. I can never say his name because I get tongue-tied. Clay Guida. Clay Guida. Why is it so hard for me to say it? Anyways, moving on to the next fight. Sean Brady versus Kelvin Gastelum. Gosh, I thought this was going to be a banger. I thought this was going to be a great fight. And it was. It was a good fight. It was good grappling. But I thought it was going to be like a war. I don't know why. I just expected that. I thought Kelvin was going to be able to keep it on the feet. No. No, he got taken down 5 times. Got absolutely dominated by Sean Brady. So it's unfortunate. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, Kelvin Gastelum, I feel like he's had... What kind of injuries has he had? So, like, Kelvin Gastelum, I feel like he's had knee injuries, maybe? But I don't know. I could have sworn somebody told me that. Kelvin Gastelum injury. Oh yeah, because he was originally supposed to fight Shavkat. Yeah, so Kelvin Gastelum originally was supposed to fight Shavkat, which I think that, honestly, looking back at it, might have been a better matchup for him because there might have been more strike. He might have been able to strike more in that fight. And he does have a chin, and Shavkat does get hit a lot, so I still think Shavkat would have won, but oh, and that was, he had to pull out of that fight because he had a gash on his nose, a pretty bad one. That's rough. I thought he had, oh my god, he had, before that was when he had to have his teeth stitched back into his gums. Oh, that was before he was supposed to fight Imavov. Probably for the best. Probably for the best that he didn't take that fight. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. He just has not had the best luck, it seems like. Oh yeah, he was supposed to fight Duplessis too. Forgot about that. He's had a lot of injuries and problems. But anyways, yeah, great performance for Sean Brady. Sean Brady, I mean, I had a feeling he could win, but I thought that if Kelvin was able to keep it on the feet, it would be, a fun stand-up fight. But I guess Sean Brady knew what would be the best path to victory there. So, yeah, unfortunate. I thought Kelvin's takedown defense would hold up better at welterweight than at 185. But I guess not. Sucks, because I really like Kelvin Gastelum. Definitely sucks, but he's got a big name, so he'll be able to get another fight. I just don't know who he's going to... At least, I don't know, hopefully they'll match him up with somebody who's more of a striker, I guess. Because I feel like he does better against other strikers. When he gets it, like, in there with a grappler, like Sean Brady, for example, or like his fight with Jack Hermanson that ended very quickly. I feel like that's usually where he's got some issues. Rob Font versus Deiveson Figueiredo. This fight didn't go the way I thought it would. Great performance from Figueiredo. Honestly, he definitely knew what to do. I mean, Rob Font's grappling did get kind of exposed, and that's what I was worried about with him, because his, I guess, lack of takedown defense got exposed in the Corey Sandhagen fight, but I was like, maybe he'll be able to keep it on the feet. But no. But even on the feet, I thought Figueiredo looked really good. I thought Figueiredo looked good everywhere in this fight. I really like him at bantamweight. I think his power is even better at bantamweight, which I was not expecting at all. I was not expecting Figueiredo's power to hit even harder in the bantamweight division than it did in the flyweight. So that was awesome. Yeah, who's Figueiredo gonna fight next? Because let's take a look-see here at the rankings. Where are the rankings? What is wrong with the UFC website? What is going on? Okay, I cannot pull up the rankings right now. Weird. This whole website is jacked up. I'm gonna refresh. Let's try it again. No, it's not working. What the heck? Did Figueiredo call anybody out? I thought he did. I thought he called somebody out after that fight. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just losing my mind. I just don't know who he's gonna fight next. Because Rob Font, I feel like, was ranked decently high at bantamweight. I really wish I could pull up these rankings right now because I don't have them memorized. That'd be really cool if I had them memorized. Maybe I should. I'm gonna try this again. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. Oh, let's see if I can do it on Wikipedia. Yeah, I can look it up on Wikipedia. There we go. Okay, so obviously Sean O'Malley's the champ. Rob Font. I don't know if this has changed, but right now he's sitting at number 8 at bantamweight. So, Now with Deiveson being a former champion, that definitely gives him, I guess, a little bit of like, he can jump the rankings a little bit more than somebody who is like a newcomer, you know, like, he's been champion before, so it's like, ooh, Petr Yan. Yes, make it happen. That would be a great fight. Petr Yan versus Deiveson Figueiredo at bantamweight. 2 former champions, 1 from bantamweight, 1 from flyweight. And then if he wins that fight, oh, thanks.
I don't know how good it is.
I got coffee. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, and then if Figueiredo wins that fight, then maybe a title fight or a title eliminator. I mean, it's not going to take him very long. It is bantamweight, though. It is a very stacked division. I wonder if Merab would fight Figueiredo. I feel like that would be a great fight, too. I don't know. It seems like a good idea to me. Seems like it. I feel like I either want to see Merab fight Figueiredo or Cejudo. I feel like those two would be good matchups. But then we got Song Yadong and Chris Gutierrez fighting soon. They're waiting in the wings for their chance. I mean, to be honest, I don't know that they're going to be fighting for a title anytime soon. But if Song Yadong wins against Chris Gutierrez on Saturday, he could be in the title picture. He could, depending on how he wins. Because the division right now, there's so much activity with Figueiredo moving up. You know, Cejudo's back. Merab's waiting in the wings. I mean, who knows what he's going to do. I feel like he should have just taken... If he would have tried to get the fight with Sean O'Malley, I feel like he could have gotten it. But his loyalty to Aljo, man... Like, what are you doing, bud? What are you doing? I know that's your friend, but... No, I got friends too, but if there's a UFC title on the line, I'd be like, yeah, you're my friend, but I'm going to go get this title. So, especially because Merab could beat Sean O'Malley. Of anybody in the division, I think Merab has the best chance of beating Sean O'Malley. So it's like, why? Why? It's frustrating. But yeah, I would like to see Figueiredo fight either, Merab or Jan. I think that would be fantastic. Let's see what's the next fight. Oh, this coffee is fantastic right now. I needed caffeine. I woke up like this. Not really. I have makeup on. I hate putting makeup on. It's such a chore. Okay, so the next fight. Jalin Turner versus Bobby Green. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. 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 I sound like Owen Wilson. Wow. That was me watching the stop. This was me watching the ref stoppage. Wow. Wow. Because what was the ref doing? Was he on vacation? Was he daydreaming? Did he just not like Bobby Green? I don't know what was going on there. The ref just kind of gave up, I feel like. But the weird thing was that he was watching it. Like, I've seen stoppages before where the ref, it seemed like they just didn't see what was going on. He was looking at it the whole time. He was standing over them, like, waiting for the moment to stop it. And it's like, you have one job. I don't know. I just hate seeing stoppages like this. Because it's not good for the fighter. Like, they might not think it's a problem right now, but later down the road, it could cause them problems taking this kind of damage. It definitely can. So, I don't know. And you don't really see bad stoppages like this in the UFC too often. I mean, you see them. But, man, that was horrible. That was so bad. I think everybody thought that was a bad stoppage, too. I don't know anybody who thought that was a good stoppage. Except maybe Bobby Green. Bobby Green was like, well, I was still breathing, so technically the fight shouldn't have been stopped. I feel like Bobby Green, like, when he gets in there, he's like, I'll die in this ring. Like, I feel like that's his mentality, for sure. He's like that type of fighter. So, yeah, but, that was really bad. That was really bad, but great performance from Jalin Turner. Oh my God. He's so tall for that division. So tall. And I feel like I don't know that we'll ever see him fight for a title. He might fight for a title. I don't know that he'll ever win a title. Just because that division is so stacked. But it's like, what's next for Jalin Turner? I don't know. I honestly do not know. Maybe I don't really want to see him fight Gamrot because I feel like Gamrot would probably out-grapple him. Have they ever fought before? Let me see. Where does Jalin Turner train at? RVCA Training Center. Oh, he's only 28. Wow. So he's actually, he's got a lot of potential. Oh yeah, he did fight. Oh yeah. That was the split decision. That was the fight that he won. I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah. Maybe they should rematch. I forgot about that fight. Yeah, I thought Jalin Turner won that fight 100%. Gamrot didn't win that fight. They need to run it back. They should run it back. Either Gamrot needs to run it back with Fiziev or run it back with Jalin Turner because Jalin Turner just got a big win over Bobby Green. He arguably won the Dan Hooker fight too. He did more damage in that fight at least. I don't know that he really won the fight, but he did more damage. And before the loss to Gamrot, he was on a 5-fight win streak. Yeah, let's run it back. I've totally forgot about that. Oh my god. Yeah, because who else is Gamrot gonna fight? There's nobody else. Like, it doesn't, no other fights really make sense. So, yeah, I'm down. I feel like that's a good fight. Yeah, that is a good fight. Because Gamrot's ranked number 6 right now. Jalin Turner was ranked number 12. Or he's ranked number 12 now, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was ranked higher than that. I thought it was like number 9. Oh, Dan Hooker's number 9. That's what I was thinking. That's the guy that Bobby was originally supposed to fight. So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, who else is he gonna fight? Oliveira? You know, it's like, no. I think the Gamrot fight makes sense. Yeah, let's do it. Mateusz Gamrot versus Jalin Turner. The rematch. I like it. I like it. I'm down. Let's do it. Yeah, I really like Jalin Turner. He's so good. His striking is so good. I think it has a lot to do with his reach, too. I mean, he's got crazy reach for that division. He's super, super tall. He's like, what is he, 6'3"? Yeah, he's 6'3". And then we had the main event. Beneil Dariush versus Arman Tsarukyan. Wow. Arman Tsarukyan, I think, is a future champion. I mean, how can you deny him after that? How can you deny... I don't know. If you don't think that Arman Tsarukyan at least will be fighting for a title in the near future, then you're not paying attention. So, now he does have a loss to, funny enough, Gamrot. Oh my god, but that was a great fight. And then he has a loss to Makhachev, of course. But other than that, I mean, he hasn't lost to anybody that's not top 10. So, yeah. I think he's got a very bright future. And he's probably learned a lot from those fights, too. I mean, to even have the experience of literally making your debut against Islam Makhachev, not getting finished, which most people do when they fight Makhachev. Most of them get finished. It's your debut in the UFC. You're fighting the most dangerous guy in the division. Like, and we didn't know it at the time. We thought Khabib, you know. And of course, he still is, like, probably the best lightweight to ever do it. At least in the modern era. But, yeah. I'm really excited about Tsarukyan, honestly. I think he's the future. I think Arman Tsarukyan is the real deal. I think he is legit. I think he's going to probably be champion at some point. Maybe not like this year, next year, but maybe down the road. Give him like 3 years, maybe 4 years. I mean, he's only 27. So give him 3 or 4 years. I think he will be champion at some point. I don't know how long he'll hold on to the belt. I don't know how he'll win the belt. I don't know how that'll all play out. But, yeah. I absolutely think he has a win over OAM, too, who just won the PFL tournament. Yeah, his resume is very impressive, honestly, for how young he is. He's only, 27. So, yeah, Tsarukyan definitely has a bright future. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good at seeing someone, like a fighter, and then being able to predict, like, oh, they're going to be champion. I feel like I'm pretty good at that. I don't know. I've been wrong a couple times, but like Sean O'Malley, I was right about Sean O'Malley. Nobody believed me. Just saying. I was right about Makhachev. Who else was I right about? I don't know. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to start keeping receipts of this. I do have receipts for O'Malley. I did not predict Sean Strickland, though. Didn't predict that one. But Tsarukyan, yeah, I think he's the real deal. He's Armenian, too, so I think he would be, like, the first Armenian champion. It's funny, Sam Tripoli texted me when he won, and what did he say? I can't remember, because I told him, I was like, hey, there's an Armenian fighting in a main event at UFC Austin. Like, you better watch this. Oh, yeah, he texted me, the Armo murdered someone tonight. Yeah. Yeah, because Sam Tripoli is Armenian, for those who don't know. Yeah, pretty exciting, because that would probably be the first Armenian champion. I don't know that there's ever been an Armenian champion in the UFC. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But, yeah, oh, he trains at American Top Team. What a surprise. He's in the lightweight division and he trains at American Top Team. Literally half of them do. So what's next for Tsarukyan? What is next for him? Let's see here. He could fight either Justin Gaethje or Oliveira, maybe? Because it's like, if anybody else that he fights, because I don't think Poirier will fight him. I think Poirier just wants whatever's going to make the most money at this point, which makes sense. But I think he's always kind of been that way. He's always been kind of more chasing the money, which, I don't know, isn't a bad way to go about it, especially when you're in the most stacked division where it's just so hard to win a title. I mean, he fought Khabib and actually did probably better than anybody against Khabib, but it's Khabib, so yeah, you're not gonna win. Yeah, anybody else that he fights, he's kind of gonna be going down in the rankings. So I feel like this time, I would like to see him fight somebody who's higher up in the rankings. And Dariush was ranked number 4, so pretty high up there. So it's like, where do you go from there? Then, you know, it's not gonna. I don't think the Chandler fight would make sense. I don't think Poirier makes sense. I think he needs to fight for like a title eliminator next. I think that's what he needs. So either Oliveira or Gaethje maybe would make sense. Yeah. Or is he ready for the title? I don't know. Because Charles Oliveira got a title fight after beating Dariush, but it was already after he had become champion, so it's a little different. Yeah, maybe Gaethje versus Tsarukyan for title eliminator. Or I feel like Tsarukyan versus Oliveira is a more interesting fight, but I don't know. I don't know that Charles Oliveira needs to win another fight to get a title shot. I think, because he already had the title fight. He just had to pull out, unfortunately. Unfortunately. But if there's anybody in that division that could beat Islam, it's Tsarukyan, I think. I think that is him and Gamrot probably... Him, Gamrot, and Fiziev probably had the most potential of anybody in that division, I think. But with Fiziev's injury, I don't know. It might be... I don't know when he's going to come back. I don't know when Fiziev's going to be back. I don't really know any updates on that. And then don't forget about St. Denis, though. I mean, he's only kind of just made his way into the rankings recently, but he's on a 5-fight win streak right now. He only has one loss. And that was in a higher weight class. So, yeah. I mean, I think St. Denis has a lot of potential too. I think he will fight for a title. I think the biggest prospects right now, or biggest, I guess, I don't know if you'd call them contenders, the biggest prospects right now, in my opinion, at lightweight are Tsarukyan. I think he's probably the closest to a title shot of anybody. And then Gamrot, Fiziev, and Benoit St. Denis. I think those guys, I don't know where I would rank them as far as like who's going to get the title shot first or who's going to win the belt first, because it's just, there's so many politics involved in it too at lightweight. Like, there's so much that goes into it. But even like St. Denis versus Fiziev or Gamrot would be a fun fight. Or Jalin Turner. I don't know. But I feel like Jalin Turner's next fight should be someone higher in the rankings. I think that's why he should rematch Gamrot. Because, and I think there is potential that Jalin Turner could get out-grappled in that fight. That's kind of my fear with him in Gamrot. Because I think Gamrot's only improved his grappling. And he trains with Grant Dawson. So, like, a lot. So, I don't know. I don't know. But we'll have to see what happens. I think Tsarukyan has more potential than Gamrot does, though, because I think Tsarukyan is a little bit more... I feel like they could build him into a big star. I feel like he definitely could be a big star. He's very recognizable. He's very... Like, that was a flashy knockout. That was a highlight reel knockout. So, yeah, I mean, his last 2 fights have both been finishes. Gamrot has won. You know, his last fight was an injury. That's how he won. And the fight before that was a lucky decision he got, which, honestly, a lot of people thought he lost. And then before that, he lost to Beneil. So, I don't know. I think Tsarukyan is definitely has, in my opinion, more potential to become champion than any of them. St. Denis, I think, has a lot of potential too. I just think he needs more experience. He needs more fights. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows what could happen? And then we'll see what Islam does next, if he's going to move up to welterweight or if he's going to stay at lightweight. I don't know. Because now it's interesting. Now lightweight is more interesting. Because before it was just like Gaethje and Oliveira at the top. And then we had Dariush kind of like, okay, what's going to happen with him? Well, now we know. You know, he's probably not going to be fighting for a title anytime soon. So we have those, yeah. So Charles Oliveira, obviously, we love Charles. But with him pulling out of the fight, kind of just took away that excitement of that fight, the rematch. It kind of took a little bit of that excitement away. I mean, I definitely still want to see it, but I think that Tsarukyan has made the division a lot more interesting now. A lot more interesting. Because now it's not just Oliveira and Gaethje in talks for the title. Now Tsarukyan's kind of in the picture. Depending on what happens with Islam, is he going to rematch Oliveira? Is he going to move up to welterweight? What is he going to do? And we'll probably find out here in the next month or so, I would think. Is Islam going to fight like March, April? I would think so. Maybe UFC 300. I think if he moved up to welterweight and fought at UFC 300, that would be absolutely insane. Or they could do the Charles Oliveira rematch for UFC 300, but I think him moving up to welterweight would be a bigger draw. But it's going to depend on who wins Colby versus Leon, which I will do predictions for that next week with my mom. Yeah. Because that fight's going to be... I don't know. I'm right now, I'm leaning towards Colby. I know that sounds crazy. I'm leaning towards Colby a little bit in this fight. I don't know, guys. I think the time away isn't a bad thing for Colby, I don't think. I think it might be a good thing. Time out of the cage. So, we'll see. I mean, I do really like Leon Edwards, though, and he's really, really good. Insanely good. But, I have a feeling Colby might win. And everybody will be so mad if he does. Be so mad. But anyways, let's talk about Mike Perry versus Eddie Alvarez before we go. This fight was absolutely insane. I thought Eddie Alvarez was going to win after the first round. I was like, wow. Eddie Alvarez is looking great. And I thought he could have won the fight, but apparently he broke his orbital bone. And Mike Perry, even though Mike Perry lost the first round, I mean, he turned it around in the second round. I thought he did really well in the second round. But I think that Mike Perry's toughness won in this fight. And I think that's why he's so hard to beat. That's why he's so hard to beat, because he's just so tough. He has a chin of steel. The guy's an animal. I honestly couldn't believe some of the shots he took from Eddie Alvarez. Man, that was crazy. Eddie Alvarez has a lot of power, too. He has more power than I thought in BKFC. And... yeah, but I think he just... yeah, I mean, that's the thing with BKFC, it is a lot easier to get hurt, like, facial fractures and face injuries, like detached retinas, broken orbital bones, things like that. But I do still think that's better than brain trauma, like... and they're still taking a lot of shots, obviously. But they're not taking as many as they do in traditional boxing. Like, because if you think about it, a boxing glove isn't really meant to protect your opponent. It's meant to protect your hands. So, and it's meant to prevent the cuts. So it's like, you take away the gloves, there's not going to be as many shots because the fights are going to most of the time end sooner, unless, there's absolute savages like Mike Perry. But the fights are usually going to end sooner, not going to take as many shots because you can't hit as hard because you don't have the gloves, so you got to protect your hands. And, people get hand injuries all the time in bare knuckle. And also just the facial injuries are pretty rough. So... I don't know. I wonder if Eddie Alvarez is going to stay in BKFC after that. Or if he's just like, oh, maybe this isn't for me. Like, I don't know. It would be interesting to see him in bare knuckle MMA, I think would be really cool. But then, he's going to have to train like the grappling and all of that. So, I don't know. Or Mike Perry's just that good. So it's like, what do you do with Eddie Alvarez after that? I'm not sure. But Mike Perry, he's the face of BKFC right now. I think if it weren't for Mike Perry, I don't know that BKFC would be doing as well, honestly. I think Mike Perry is a lot of the reason why they're so popular right now and why they're doing well. Because a lot of people before, like, if you talk to them about bare knuckle boxing, they're like, what? You watch that? Like, they think it's crazy. So I think Mike Perry's really kind of helped that brand a lot. So hopefully he can keep winning, because I think they need Mike Perry in BKFC. But he called out a couple people. He called out Anthony Pettis, which is interesting. I think Mike Perry would absolutely destroy Anthony Pettis in bare knuckle boxing. I don't think it would be even close. But he does have a big name, so that's probably why Mike Perry called him out, because he did mention that he wants somebody with a big name, he wants somebody with followers, because he doesn't want to just sell the fights by himself, so it makes sense. I definitely understand that. And then he also called out Jorge Masvidal, which, that would be crazy. I would love to see it. That would be such a huge fight. Huge fight. But does Jorge Masvidal want to go to BKFC? I don't know. And I was thinking, what might be really interesting is if they did bare knuckle boxing in Game Bread. Like if they had a card where some of the fights were bare knuckle boxing and then some of the fights were bare knuckle MMA. If they could somehow pull that off, and I don't know what the rules are on that. I don't know how that works with like sanctioning the fights, and I just don't know how that all works. But that would be really cool. That would be really cool. Or if they could do some bare knuckle Muay Thai. Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. But I think having bare knuckle boxing and bare knuckle MMA on the same card would be really, really interesting and really cool. So, who knows? But anyways, that's all I got for you this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Go check out my latest interview. Go to my other channel, Bre Eckert. The Brilliant Resilient Experience is my other podcast. I just did an interview with Kendall Whited, who is a fighter from my gym, ES MMA and Fitness. He is fighting this Saturday on the Nemesis Fighting Alliance card. So definitely check that out and check out all the fighters on that card. They've been working their butts off, I know, and training, cutting weight, and doing all that. And a lot of them are amateur fighters, but honestly, the way that they train and the way that they pursue their career in this sport, like they're taking it so seriously. And I think we will see some of them, end up making it to the UFC someday. So, or one championship or wherever they want to go. But I think that it's important to, support the local fighters, support them on the come up, before they get big. So yeah, go check out my interview with Kendall Whited. Awesome conversation. And then, yeah, check out all my other interviews. I got more coming, more on the way. So definitely check it out. And yeah, whatever you guys think about the fights, leave it in the comments, share your thoughts, get some conversation going. I try to respond to all my comments as quickly as I can. So definitely let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you thought about the fights. Let me know what you think about the upcoming pay-per-view, the Colby versus Leon title fight. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett. I want to hear your thoughts. So let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you again for all the support. I really appreciate all you guys liking, commenting, subscribing. All of that helps me so much, so I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.